And joining us in studio, putting the spotlight on artist Rizaan Ali. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me, guys. What's up?
Well, as you can see, a lot is happening right now.
Yes, folks, I would just like to point out that the look was not planned, right? What secondary school you went to?
Trinity College.
Right, so it's a Trinity thing apparently. This is how Trinity boys allegedly dress.
First of all,
Allegedly, yes.
you know what? Is that tie? Is that tie that they make us wear for all those years?
The tie letter, kind of missing the tie now.
I still have it.
You still have it?
Yes, of course. I still have my uniform with all, the last day of school.
I mean, I assume I still have mine.
Well, that was like a million years ago.
I think
thanks,
I washed mine by mistake the last day of school.
So all of the ink washed out. Oh,
that's
darn.
unfortunate.
I could go home now?
No.
Feels to cry.
I mean, if Trinity, old boys, whatever word you're after, that's a them, right? But breakthrough.
Breakthrough. Yes. Okay.
You know? Ironically, you might be one of the first or one of the few guests on Breakthrough whose education experience has almost nothing to do with your artistic experience.
You are correct.
It's the way you said almost nothing.
Well, because
I waited to hear it now.
No,
What is it?
just because like you don't necessarily want to say in absolutes. I don't know to what extent you might have had some sort of training, maybe with a music teacher, you know, outside of the classroom, your secondary school, maybe you had a primary school music teacher that had an impact on your life. So usually a lot of our guests, they're in UEs, music or theater programs or artistic programs, they're in UTTs, etc., etc. But that wasn't your initial direction.
So I don't think it's almost. I think it's fully nothing to do.
Okay.
All right, I was just leaving the door open.
Yeah, I understand.
But thanks for the clarification.
Yeah.
But how was that? What caused you to potentially pick what you decided to do in UE and then make the switch, I guess you could say, in your career?
So since I was small, I like Bollywood music, right? I like Bollywood music. I like chutney, soca as well. So when I went to school and stuff, it had all these songs like Single Forever. I believe that was when I was in primary school. I try to remember if that was primary or secondary school, but
you were in primary school when that song came out?
I believe so.
Stop showing
Indrani, I think I was in primary school when Indrani came out as well.
Okay, I don't know about that one. I don't know. I can't remember that one.
Showing the age.
Indrani, Radhika Wayali Vango. I think I was in primary school.
I don't remember.
I know that. I know that.
Yeah. So hearing these things, I started to like chutney because I wasn't really familiarized with the chutney, but the other students would sing it and they would fall in and they would start to listen to the songs, etc. Right? Then my parents they listen mainly Bollywood music, so I would have grew up listening to Bollywood. And I started singing a little bit, right? So I have an uncle who's in Canada, and they have a TV station, and they decided to bring me on, right? I used to be singing for kicks. By the way, I probably mispronouncing every single word because it's Hindi, I don't know Hindi. But yeah, I started like that, and they had a radio station as well. So I started gaining that exposure. But after a while, you know, you're just there now, you don't know what's going on, right? I went into secondary school, and I think probably was like from Form 5. I said, you know what, let me start to do some videos and post it. Little covers of Bollywood songs and whatnot. And then I reached, from Form 5, I went to UE Open Campus, and I was still doing the covers, and somebody saw me, and it was like, come and sing for the Wali event. Now, mind you, I never sing in front of a live audience. Actually, I lie. I did sing in 2014. I made my debut on a boat cruise in Canada. Right?
Okay.
So from that period, I didn't sing otherwise in Trinidad, right? And I said, you know what? No, mind you, and I telling you all flat out, I could sing in front of 3,000 people, but put 10 people I knew in front of me, I would struggle.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I would struggle because you know, if you mess up, the next day people are going to be watching you. Now, if you mess up in front of 3,000 people, well, boy.
Also, I think it's something about, for me, it's like, I feel like I'm being pretentious when I try to sing in front of people I know who are also singers.
Yeah.
But when it's people who don't really know me, then it's easy to just not care. Like, even if they are singers, because in front of Nigel Floyd, like, it didn't bother me like when it would be in front of my own choir.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I just get nervous and anxious regardless.
Oh, well, I mean, at this point, I have successfully like beaten most of my nerves.
Okay.
Dead.
That's right.
Between TV and stage.
Okay,
and
fair.
Although not, I haven't 3,000 people. So kudos to you.
Yeah, boy. No, because when you perform in front of people, especially family, like Christmas gets awkward. Because you're like, oh, you saw me sing, you saw me perform.
Yeah.
And then they start asking questions and then you're like, run away. But how did we get from, okay, so you said you started performing, all of those things, you were on the show.
Well, Diwali.
The Diwali thing.
Diwali, right?
Right.
So I performed there and people was like, you could sing, you could sing, right? So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start taking this a little bit serious. I don't know what it has for me, right? So I started researching, studios and whatnot, right? And then I believe that was 2015, 2016, I decided to release my first song. It was actually a Kanchan remake called Aibaha, right? So it was a traditional chutney. So this guy was singing Bollywood, now singing chutney. Right, and I think it was well received for our first song. I have no regrets or anything. I know, well, as time go by, it would improve obviously, but for our first song, it was decent. And then the next year, I decided to take a big step and go into chutney soca monarch.
Right.
So this song is very random right now. This man wake up, he look like
Yes, because you're in UE. And what did you do in UE so the audience knows?
I did my BSc in leadership and management.
Right. And your peers weren't even always aware that
they
you
weren't,
sung.
yeah, they weren't aware because I was in the guild and stuff as well. So I knew a lot of students, right? And even I would tell them, yo, I chutney soca artist, and they'd be like, you're joking? I was like, nah, boy, I'm being serious here. And then I'll play my song for them and they'll vibe and sing, man.
Right.
Right? But yeah, what I was saying before, chutney soca monarch, I believe that was 2018, I would have made my debut. Okay. And my debut was actually with Salty. So Salty made his debut on a chutney soca monarch stage as well. We had a song called Harpal. We reached the semis. Unfortunately, we didn't reach the finals, but I kept going. But I would say one thing. I get real vexed the first time I didn't make finals. I say, but what is this boy? Robbery in this place, you know?
Oh my God.
And I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop immediately. I pick up myself, went back the next year. Semis. I didn't make the finals again.
Right.
Same thing I said, robbery, you know, this and that. 2020, I went with my friend Theatrix, Darian Narayan, right? And you know what I said? All this time I was so competitive, I just go and would fight. Whatever happened, happened. We reached our finals, we reached in the top 10 out of 24 artists, we came 8. We just vibes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from
top third.
Yeah, from that time, I said maybe this competitive mindset could be against you as well. Because as I always tell people, forget enemies, you could be your own enemy as well. Huh?
That's a good point. We've had other discussions on topics like this.
It could be your own enemy as well.
And the competitiveness might be taken away from the artistic aspect and the performance aspect.
You want to enjoy, you know, at the end of the day. You don't want to be, as soon as you leave that stage, you don't want to be thinking, I wonder what them judges think. I wonder if I'm making finals, you know. But since we came in with that, and I would always say thanks to Theatrix because he helped me develop my performance aspect as an artist.
Right.
Well, that could be it too. You could have just developed.
Yeah.
You know.
Because Darren is an actor.
Yeah.
And he teaches acting. So he
he helped me with that performance aspect, and he used to be like, Riz, you know, we could take it this way and whatnot. And I used to be like, how this man so chill about this and I hear, you know. But after a while I realized, and as I said, I mean, the competitiveness, I mean, it would have its pros, but it has its cons as well.
It reminds me of a quote that I saw sometime on social media, and it said, people at the bottom of competing, people at the top of collaborating.
Correct.
As much as, you know, it may not be 100% truth all the time, but I think there is something to be said about trying your best, because if you're always going with that competitive mindset, and then, as you said, you came off of the stage, you know, robbery, all that kind of thing. You're going on the stage with that kind of vibes, and you're coming off the stage, and then that will translate into your performance.
Correct.
Right. So the crowd will feel that, the judges will feel that, and there'll be some sort of disconnect with.
It's energy transfers.
Yeah.
Yes. Your mindset is difficult.
For sure. So all right. So you made it to chutney. So now, did you ever feel like you had to do chutney soca monarch, or you just wanted to try it completely on your own?
I wanted to try it, and I wouldn't lie to you, my initial thought was to be the youngest ever to win that competition, right? And I started a good way, right? And up to this day, I think it was 2020, I believe I was one of the youngest at the time to ever reach the finals, if not the youngest, in Trinidad and Tobago for Chutney Soca.
Okay.
Right, but then after Caitlin Sultan would have came in, the 8-year-old, and she, but I think before I was one of the youngest, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, all right. So now fast forward to now.
Right.
We're obviously gonna see a quick clip of some. Now you're changing your sound a little bit. Right?
A good bit.
A good bit. A good bit. A good bit. So, well, especially for you get very much veering away from the chutney soca sound.
Right.
And you coming into what you call your own indie chutney.
Indie
something. How would you describe it?
It could potentially be new gen chutney because chutney, the definition for me is English mixed with Hindi accompanied by traditional instruments, right, such as the dholak, dancehall, etc. Right, but my music, especially this one here, there is authentic. A guy from India actually produced the song, right? So there's authentic instrumentation, and if you listen to it, it don't really have like much synths and much beats. It's more live music, and I would always take live music over anything. You know, so it could potentially be a new gen chutney. Right? So I want to see where it goes as well. But I'll call it new gen music because it's nothing that has been done before from my knowledge.
Right. So now the song that we're gonna see a clip of just now is called Don't Want No One. Right. Right. After releasing that, now you and I would have been having a conversation, and releasing that song would have been quite the journey. Yeah, right? That was a journey for real. Yeah. So so who's the producer on that track?
There was a producer called Surin Sheelan from South Africa. Right? He produced the song. Right. So it's actually, as I said, the reason I call it independent because it has a mixture of Western, it has a mixture of Eastern, you hear a little Afrobeats in it. Right. So yeah, that's why I don't want to give it a name as it. Let me see how the music goes. Let me see what the people think, and they could call it something, you know?
Because sometimes that
sometimes.
Well, I mean, so one of the things I find interesting, I guess the main question is why? Because when you're doing your own thing, with regards to the commercial aspect of art, it's very easy when it's like, well, we'll make our version of Star Wars, we'll make our Indiana Jones, we'll make our buddy cop movie like Beverly Hills Cop or Bad Boys or whatever, but you're looking to forge new paths. And that's not just you trying to develop a song, but then also having to figure out relationships who will be able to kind of, you know, see it the same way you see it. So why did you look to do this?
Well, so this year, last year, sorry, into this year, I had a song with, Theatrix, the guy who sings with me, and Tony Cuts. Tony Cuts is one of the biggest chutney soca artists in Guyana right now, if not Guyana, right? So that song would have blown up and stuff on social media, and we actually got a release in South Africa. So when we got that release in South Africa, that guy approached me, right? And he was like, oh, we want to do something with me. Now, at first, I wonder if I should do it. I don't know this guy, you know, he looks like a new producer and stuff, but I said, you know what, send me something. And I liked his vibe. He was more giving me like Afrobeats, but a little R&B styling. I said, I have nothing to lose, you know, I have nothing to lose. I feel like I kind of moving away from the chutney scene. So in order to start somewhere, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And I went with him, and yeah, I like the production and everything. Right? There was one or two things I may have changed, but other than that, I was satisfied, and yeah.
Because it was the first endeavor, so
that was my first outside that chutney scene. So I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, hindsight is easy, but this is you're rediscovering music and you're discovering new avenues. Did you go to South Africa or was it all online?
It was online. It was online. So I would have like sent voice notes of my melody. We would have kept making changes with lyrics. It was, now mind you, this was a very back and forth. There was a little bit of a communication barrier, right? Yes. Back and forth, and yeah, we continued until we got the final product. That probably might have taken a month or so.
All right.
I mean, that's not bad, all things considered.
Yeah.
Okay, and now you also have your latest release, which is called Find Love Again. Yeah. Right now, this is what, did you use the same producer?
No, this is actually a guy from India, JJ Productions, right?
Okay.
And it was mixed, mastered. No, this people gonna be saying, what going on here? This man South African or
Right,
India.
yeah.
But it's mixed and mastered by from somebody in Mexico who also he does stuff for Universal Studios Latin America, right? So I look for the top of the line
Right.
quality as well, and this was something new for him, and he actually really enjoyed it, and he said he don't mind working with me for other songs. So seeing something like that, maybe there's a hint of international vibe from me to other people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, because you know there are obviously a lot of artists looking out there, probably did not have a lot of good experiences with local producers or stuff like that. There's always a conversation that kind of surrounds that and a perception. So if they did want to work with, like how did you find these producers, especially one in Mexico and
You do Google search, bro. You do
Okay.
Google search.
As simple as that.
You can look for sites. There are sites with producers and stuff.
Okay. Is there a way to sort of curate the quality of producer? Because I don't think you'd want to go with just anybody.
Well, once you going around, most of these people are supposed to have their samples online.
Okay.
Right? So you would have an idea, okay, this is something I would go into. I don't really like this quality, this one better. Now, if you go in blind, eyes on you.
Right.
If you see a man and you go in blind, eyes on you. But
Right.
yeah, I would say being able to search and stuff, everything is marketing. It don't stop there. And part of marketing is marketing research as well.
Well,
Okay.
speaking about that, with your singles, when you release them, do they also release in the countries where you're the producers who worked on them did it as well? It's not just in TNT?
Yeah. So as I said, South Africa,
Right.
Trinidad. I believe our the song I had with Tony Cuts, that would have been in Guyana as well, right? So as an artist and going forward, you know, I just always say my main dream in life is to have my song played in a movie.
Okay.
So that is my goal.
That's very young.
My end goal right
Would a
now.
TV show be just as good?
Yeah.
We know Differentology got play on Grey's
Yeah,
Anatomy.
I take it. I want to be able to go on and say, look, my song, boy.
But that's interesting because especially with the rise of this like cinematic pop thing that's sort of coming up in the you know, in television and in film and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was a question that I wanted to ask. Okay, so you said, you know, you could curate, they did usually have your samples and stuff like that.
Right.
But I guess you did make the point that sometimes if you're going in blind, that's kind of that's
Your fault.
that's well, yes.
That's your fault.
That's your
I
fault.
mean, it could pay off, eh?
But-
It could pay off.
Well, it kind of did pay off for you, I guess, the first time.
The
because-
first time, because I wasn't too sure.
But he came to you.
But
Right.
what he would have sent me was like a R&B. That's not really my style.
Right, okay.
Right? So it was a big risk because he said he still wanted to create a chutney vibe.
Right.
Right?
With an R&B flair.
Yeah,
or
as I
some
said,
sort.
that song mixed from Western to Eastern, but the production was really well done. I
Okay.
must applaud him for that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, we heard the song and it's very different. It's kind of like this thing that's kind of happening with some pop musicians, especially with Spanish and Latin music.
Yeah.
They mix in like what we call it Spanglish. They'll literally sing one line in English and then the next line.
Well, Korea does that as well.
in Korea.
To the point where now you're wondering, is this K-pop because it's going from Korean to more and more English lyrics?
Right.
But at the same time, there's something interesting with that development because you could then have rhyming schemes that you can have with either language alone. So, I mean, have you played about in that space?
In terms of?
Mixing languages?
Yeah, this song.
Well, right, but like,
Find Love
What do you
Again.
mean beyond the Hindi?
yeah.
Oh.
Nah, right. This is why I'm going to keep pushing the Hindi and English, and I'm going to keep mixing it.
Okay.
Right.
Hindi and English in each song.
So you want to still have some kind of cultural roots
Yeah,
to
correct.
ground your brand, I guess you could say.
And it would also be something unique. You don't really hear much English and Hindi mixed.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
What just one last question because we do have to wrap up soon. How has the support been since you've made this change from the supporters, from the audience, and maybe like colleagues and other chutney artists or other artists in general? Like, what has that
I
experience been?
didn't, in terms of artists and stuff, I got a lot of support for this. Like, people would say, yo, this is amazing, this is something different. Even our videos and stuff, our videos, I think, is a good quality music videos. And I think a lot has to do with I'm an actor as well, right, with Digicel Theatre, so I have a bit of a creative...
Shout out to Sheldon, right? Pick up you.
Yeah, I have a bit of a creative mindset and they help with that, so not just music, but video and putting together a total package to give to society. I think people will start to appreciate it, but again, you're going to get mixed opinions because it's something new.
Yes.
So whenever there's something new, and then there would always be people who don't want change. That, you can't do that, you can't force it upon the people, right? If they accept it, they accept it, but I'll continue to do what I'm doing.
Do you see, because you have now international links, that you could potentially grow, you don't have to grow locally first, you could kind of do both at the same time and grow slowly or quickly?
Again, as I said,
that's an advantage.
There's an end game as well, because next thing you know, I end up growing outside in a particular country, you never know, and becoming this kind of music going there. And a main thing as well, I want young people to at least take in my music and stuff, and hopefully they could follow within as well. Right?
Once they see you break the mold, they could
because, I mean, chutney soca has been under a lot of scrutiny. Right, I think sometimes it's be a little bit overdone in terms of the public eyes and people who really understand chutney soca.
Do you think local music kind of might be stagnating a little bit? Not just chutney, but calypso. Maybe not so much calypso in the last year, but still, soca, chutney, calypso. It's maybe not evolving to the pace that it should, or developing.
I would say sometimes there are good music out there, but we don't hear it.
Okay.
Right, there are good soca's out there that are different. There are good chutney soca's that are different. And I would always say that, you know, you have to market yourself. There are good songs out there, people trying, but the main thing is marketing. And I know a long time they used to have hits and not hits, but if you market yourself better, your song could become a hit no matter what it is. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
But I do get your point, because people do say a lot of the songs sound the same, they take in the same thing over, it's the same instruments, and I do agree that the world is evolving, right?
Yes.
We have to evolve with the world to keep up with it,
For
you
sure.
know? So, yeah, I would say it has to keep evolving to reach somewhere, and I don't think we should just be doing music for down here for people to lime. I mean, yeah, we want to lime and thing, but I think our end goal should be to reach on an international stage.
Yeah.
I think that is the end goal as well.
Okay, and that's really good advice. You know, don't just limit yourself to what you have here. All right. So we really appreciate you coming, and as you know, as we always say, you know, stay supporting your artists.
Yeah.
Stay listening, stay searching. Right. We would have had a conversation episodes ago about doing the work on your own a little bit as the audience. You know. So, Riz, if I may, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks so much. I'll hopefully get him a more next time, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm just feeling so out of place.
Yeah, but
Have me looking like I'm looking like his bodyguard or something like that.
No, that's a you problem, right? To be fair, I look like the cheap manager, you know, that probably is trying to default him of all his money, you know, steal it and go to Vegas or something. So
And on
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
And on that,
I'm a step, you know, so you step up. You step up. You know.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
See, yes,
Good
my
looking.
self-deprecation, which has a purpose sometimes.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Breakthrough. As we head on, we are going to listen to, you're going to see a performance of Rizaan singing Don't Want No One. Hope you all enjoy. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.